Welcome, everybody, to the College Basketball Preview Show on the Grueling Truth Sports Network. I'm your host, Mike Goodpaster. Today, we're going to look at the SEC battle tonight between the Kentucky Wildcats and the Tennessee Volunteers. This should be a great basketball game between two top-level, top 10, 15 teams. Both teams have tremendous holes, and we're going to look at that today. And, each night, it feels like there's a dynamite top 25 matchup in college basketball, and it's usually an SEC clash. On Tuesday, the Kentucky Wildcats will travel to Knoxville to battle the Volunteers. The Cats are coming off a tough defeat against Vanderbilt. Remember, the week before, they lost at home against Alabama. Meanwhile, the Vols had a grueling matchup against Auburn. They lost by 2 points. And this is an intriguing matchup for both teams for many reasons, but considering both are overrated by the market, Tennessee is the number one team in adjusted defensive efficiency, boasting a sparkling top 5 ranking in opposing field goal and three-point percentages. The Vols love to grind the game down to almost a halt and lean on their defense. They also have an extremely thin rotation, which is another key reason they like to slow the tempo to a crawl. The Cats are the opposite in terms of pacing. They rank inside the top 25 at adjusted tempo. Mark Pope's team is the king of running and gunning on offense and shooting a ton. The Cats are hitting 38% from deep and ranked 5th in adjusted defensive efficiency. The offensive edge goes to the Cats, but I think the Vols defense is elite enough to contain any team in the country. They saw that, and we saw that against Auburn. We saw their sensational effort against the Tigers on Saturday, and I think this is a golden opportunity for them to bounce back at home. I also like the Vols' offensive matchup, especially against a very suspect Kentucky defense. This team has been torched multiple times throughout the regular season, mainly due to its inability to force turnovers. The Cats are 335th in defensive turnovers forced, and they've been exposed inside the arc. They rank outside the top 200 in opposing two-point percentage, and the metrics suggest their defense is due for some negative aggression moving forward. Both units struggle to rebound the basketball and avoid sending opponents to the foul line too often. That bodes well, I think, for an aggressive Vols defense. They should take advantage of the Cats' inability to draw trips to the charity stripe. I'm not exceptionally high on either of these teams. I think there's way too many holes on either one of these teams to consider them a national title contender right now. They're both probably Sweet 16 to Elite 8 teams. Now, Tennessee's defense, I think, will suffocate the Cats throughout the evening. I expect them to slow down the pace to play to their strengths. I think a replicated effort from the Vols on Tuesday night, combined with the home crowd, should work nicely in their favor. When I look at this game, the point spread is 8.5, which I would have thought a couple weeks ago would have been way too big. But right now, with Kentucky and their struggles on defense, it's hard to take them seriously as a big-time SEC championship contender. Mark Pope's done a great job with this team, but this team is offense. There's very little defense, and I think the interior paint, Tennessee's not a great rebounding team, but they're going to be good enough to hold that to a stalemate. I think Tennessee controls the pace of the play here, and I think Tennessee comes through and wins this game, and I think they cover the 8.5 points. I'm going to say Tennessee 72, Kentucky 61. I wouldn't bet a lot of money. I would just half a unit to bet this game. And if you're going to bet it at BetMGM. They're the top sports book for betting on college basketball. You can click on the link in the description down below if you're watching on YouTube. Guys, you can follow me on X at Grueling Truth. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification for YouTube. Check us out on thegruelingtruth.com. But for now, I'm Mike Goodpaster. You've been watching and listening to The Grueling Truth, where the legends speak.